Welcome to Here and There. I'm your host, Whitney Long. I have a big show this month. Up first, we're joined by Christine Donahue-Mayo and Lori Netherton from Conway Symphony Orchestra Guild to learn more about their upcoming Jazz It Up fundraising event coming up next month. Also, we welcome back to the show Amanda Horton, Director of Reynolds Performance Hall, to take a look at their 2022 and 2023 season. Levi Gilbert and Tim Roach from Channel 5 Sports are joined by David Grimes to introduce us to the next induction class of the Wampus Cat Sports Hall of Fame. And Stephanie Brazil stops by to talk about the August issue of 501 Life magazine. Here and There starts now.
You've arrived at your destination.
Welcome back to Here and There. Today I'm with Christine Donahue-Mayo and Lori Netherton from the Conway Symphony Orchestra. They're going to share with us about the Symphony Orchestra and then also about a great upcoming event we have in September. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. Yes, we're so excited, and September is full of events. And you guys have an exciting one coming up. But tell us a little bit about the Conway Symphony Orchestra. I mean, you guys do stuff year-round. And
yes, and this is a big year, am I not?
You're correct.
I'm correct about that, Lori, because for the past, I think, 16 years, we've had this. No, it's longer than that.
This is our 38th season.
38th season. I don't know how I got 16 in there, but anyway, 38th season. I think it's a treasure here in Central Arkansas. And I'm sure you agree.
Yes.
For a town this size, to have an orchestra of the caliber that we have is really quite something. The big part about this year, you want to tell them?
Well, we'll be opening the
Performing Arts Center, the Wingate.
The Wingate,
right.
Wow.
And that'll open in the spring of 2023.
Right.
That's so exciting.
So they're transitioning
Wow.
from Reynolds Performance Hall into the new Performing Arts Center, which is on the corner of Bruce and Donaghy, very close to my house, actually, so I can just walk to the concerts. But that's like a big event this year. But prior, in the fall, they're going to be performing at Reynolds, and come the new year, they'll be in the new Performing Arts Center. So it's a big season for them.
Yes,
Very
that's
exciting.
Huge.
Yeah.
And tell us about if people want to get in the Conway Symphony Orchestra, how do they get involved in it?
If they want to play in it,
They
or
want
if they want
to play
come
in
to
it,
hear
they want to volunteer,
Okay.
if they want to hear it. Tell us about that.
Well, if they're really a talented musician, I think they just need to contact the conductor, Israel Getzoff, and I'm sure he would be happy to hear auditions. We use a lot of students from the University of Central Arkansas, and they are extremely talented. Some of our faculty also join in, and he sometimes will pull other musicians from Little Rock, from the Arkansas Symphony Orchestra. But if you want to play in the orchestra, I would say just give somebody a call or contact them through their conwaysymphony.org, and you could probably set that up. As far as coming to the concerts, you can still go to the conwaysymphony.org and find out what their schedule is, and just show up. The concerts are really
The
very
season
dynamic.
tickets go on sale August 1st.
Yes.
Okay.
And we'll have a free concert in September, and then we'll have an October concert, and then we'll have our Christmas concert, and then we'll have another concert in February, and then in April.
Right. And February is sort of the big.
February is the big Wingate
Right.
opening.
Right.
That's so
Yes.
exciting.
And
Okay.
actually, one of our local singers who graduated from UCA a number of years ago and has had an international operatic career will be joining the orchestra for that event, and her name is Kristen Lewis. So anybody who might be interested in a local girl who's made it big. In fact, I saw her at the Met a couple of years ago when she made her Met debut.
Wow.
She's really very talented and very dynamic. So
What's different about our symphony versus, say, Arkansas Symphony is it's a teaching college. And so it's kind of like, like a Grey's Anatomy is a teaching hospital, I guess as an example, or UAMS is a teaching hospital.
Right, right.
And so we have these excellent student musicians, but just because they're music majors does not mean they're necessarily in the symphony. They still have to try out. So it's the best of the best, and it's an international symphony, which I think is exciting.
Yeah.
That is exciting.
Yeah.
What an incredible opportunity to have right here in Conway.
Yes.
absolutely.
For people that want to go and see it or partake or help out volunteering or whatever. I mean, it's just a big opportunity for Conway.
Okay, you just mentioned volunteer, so that kind of brings us around to the Guild,
Okay.
which we are a part of, though Lori's also on the board of the Symphony. We are a support for the Symphony, and of course the last 2.5 years, 3 years, we've hardly been able to do anything. And the last time we had an event such as Jazz It Up, which is what we're doing in September, was 2019.
Wow.
And we were both at the previous conceptions of that idea, Jazz It Up. And they're lovely evenings. Ours is going to take place on
September.
September 8th, which is a Thursday, from 6:30 to 9:30. And we're doing something a little different this year. We're going to do it on the stage of Reynolds Theater. There will be a silent auction and a live auction and another auction kind of thing called Take a Chance, some wonderful food, libations, and probably
jazz.
And jazz. And actually, the last time they had it, there was not jazz. There was music, live music, but it wasn't jazz. And so, kind of excited that we're going to go back to the jazz idea this year as well.
That's
it's kind of a New
exciting.
Orleans theme.
Yeah.
We're going to have some fabulous auction items, fabulous live auctions, as well as the silent auctions. And then the Take a Chance is going to be a lot of fun. So
Tell us about the Take a Chance. What is that?
Well, there are going to be 4 different items, and you buy your chance, and then you just have your little stub, and there will be bowls, and so you can put it in whatever you prefer, and then we'll draw later in the evening. And so, you know, you've got a great opportunity to win a fabulous prize.
Yeah,
Right now we
fun.
have something like a beef package, which, you know,
Okay.
considering how much meat is in the grocery store these days, is not a bad idea.
Right.
There will be a bouquet of restaurant gift certificates as well. It hasn't been quite settled yet, but it will be by the time September 8th rolls around. So we should go ahead.
We'll have 2 live artists, and their paintings will be auctioned off
Right.
in the live auction.
Okay.
We'll have a set of tires from Smith Ford for the live auction. So things are coming together. We're going to have some jewelry from Sissy's, and we're going to have some jewelries from Francis M. And so there'll be a lot of
Yeah.
great items to pick and choose from.
Yeah.
We hope something for everyone. You know, whether you're looking for something for a small child, or looking for a night of poker, or looking for a beautiful vase to put your flowers in, or a set of tires for your car, all of those things. We're hoping that we have enough variety, and so people will be interested in it.
Yes.
And one thing that goes really well, the Guild is putting together a bar cart. I'm sorry, the board, the Symphony board is putting together a bar cart. So we have a little cart, and we have a tray, and we're going to have an assortment of liquors, and a little ice bucket, and some glasses, and a book, and that'll go
That'll
quickly.
go really well,
It'll
yeah.
Go high, but we're excited
You call
for
it
that.
Stock the Bar.
Stock the
Stock the
bar.
bar. So if you're, I don't know, just moving into a new place or something, and you have thought that this would be a good idea, this would be a
It's a
great
great
idea
gift for a
you.
newlywed. Stock their bar.
Absolutely.
Yes, very well rounded. I mean, you have
Right.
something for everyone.
Right.
That's great. And so the Jazz It Up, tell us about the performers.
The performers, for the most part, are faculty from University of Central Arkansas, and I feel like we're really fortunate with that we have so many talented people on the faculty. But the 3 in particular who are participating that night are also darn good jazz players. Julia Buckingham McCorvey is fairly new to our faculty, but she's an incredible jazz pianist. Our percussion teacher does a good job on the marimba and the xylophone. Our saxophone teacher is in charge of one of our jazz bands at UCA. And I believe, not sure, I think one of our students and a former student will round out the quintet that's going to play that night. But it should be a lot of fun and really well done. So we're excited about that. Thanks for mentioning the 2 artists, because sometimes I get lost in my head, but I think that's really an interesting thing that they're going to be painting during the event, and then hopefully it'll be dry by the time people want to take their artwork home. It will be.
It'll be Suzanne Wagner and Sheila Parsons.
Yeah,
Okay.
and they're well-known names here in the
Yes.
area.
So if you
for
like
their-
watercolor,
Yes, that's exciting. This sounds amazing. So September 8th, and if people want to buy tickets, how do they get in contact with?
Well, first of
people
all,
buy
there
the
will be a lovely ad in the 501 Life
Yes.
magazine for the month of August, so you can always get a copy of that and open it up. But the phone number for it is
501-513-7096.
Okay.
And that'll be calling Vicki Crockett.
yeah,
And she can take care of taking your information and get you tickets.
right.
Okay,
And that'll
great.
probably be the easiest way to do it. You can also go, I believe, to the conwaysymphony.org/guild and get to us as well. But I think making the phone call might be the easiest way.
And the tickets are going to be $75 a piece. So
We'll have seating for 150, so you're going to want to call early and often.
tickets.
Yeah, you're going to want to call early and get your ticket purchased. Make sure that you get into that small number. Or it's not really that small a number. It'll be a good size number. So
Yeah.
So we'll all be sitting on the stage at Reynolds, and we'll have the food is going to be heavy hors d'oeuvres, and of course libations.
yeah, wine and beer.
And the theme is more of a New Orleans theme,
Okay.
so it's going to be decorated just beautifully with chandeliers and black and cream and gold.
Wow.
It's going to be a great evening.
It
Yeah.
does. It sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Can't wait. What a great way to kick off the school year and the.
You know, it's a great way to come out of this dark
Heat wave.
hole. The heat wave, first of all. Let's hope it's a little cooler that night. But also out of this dark hole that I feel like we've all been in for
Yes.
the last 2.5 years
Yes.
when Symphony wasn't able to do very much, and we certainly weren't able to do very much. And yeah, it's time to start celebrating what we have in Central Arkansas and show our support for the wonderful talent that's in our midst. So.
Yes. Yes. This is amazing. I'm excited about it. I will
Good.
buy my tickets.
Yeah.
Thank you, ladies.
We'd love to see you there, Whitney.
Hi, Conway. This is Jeff Brooks at Brooks Fine Jewelry. Thank you once again for voting for Brooks Fine Jewelry for Best of in Conway. This is the factory store. There's always something new and innovative here at Brooks Fine Jewelry. We can now engrave the nameplates for anybody that wishes to acquire them, and we're here to engrave anything you have. Any items that you wish to engrave, bring them on in. Brooks Fine Jewelry is now exhibiting original art and limited edition prints by Patrick Shane Wilson. So come on down to Brooks Fine Jewelry and visit with us. We look forward to seeing you.
Transform your internet experience with Conway Corp Managed Wi-Fi, powered by Plume. Full-strength, uninterrupted Wi-Fi everywhere in your home. Multiple devices, maximum streaming and uploading. Installed by our experts for peak performance. Buffering? Over. Dead spots? Gone. Easy controls manage your smart devices. And advanced security keeps it all safe. It's the smarter way to Wi-Fi. Conway Corp Managed Wi-Fi. Upgrade now.
Welcome back. I'm with Amanda Horton, Director of Reynolds Performance Hall. Thank you for being with us.
Absolutely.
We've got some super exciting events coming up.
We
and
really do.
We're ready to hear about them.
Yes, we actually kicked off our single ticket sales this week, and so they are available now. So anything that the listeners hear today, they can go to our website right now and purchase them. But we have a ton of fun and engaging comedy this year. So who doesn't need to laugh right now?
We all need it.
That's right.
I mean,
That's right. We need to laugh.
Yes.
So we're kicking off our season with a great comedic Broadway show called Spamilton.
Okay.
So, and as you can imagine, what Spamilton is about, it's a parody, a musical parody, a spoof, and it, of course, does cover Hamilton, but also a ton of other Broadway hits. And it's just a ton of fun. That cast, I saw it in Chicago. It was amazing. It will have you laughing the whole time. And then in September, we move into inspiration. And we probably all need to be inspired right now
Yes.
as well. And we've got Amy Grant coming.
Okay.
It was just announced that she's going to be a Kennedy Center honoree this year in December.
Wow.
So talk about great timing for us. That
Yes.
was absolutely perfect because there's a lot of hype around her. But she's been our best seller this week as we're selling tickets. So if you want to see Amy Grant, you probably need to get your tickets now because she will sell out really, really quickly.
Yeah.
In November, we have some wonderful shows like Neil McCoy, who's a country music artist from the 90s, but also an amazing entertainer. I saw him a few years ago with Blake Shelton, and I love Blake Shelton, but I'll tell you, Neil was so engaging, just really personal, told a ton of stories, had a lot of great musical hits from the 90s, and it's going to be a fun night for us. So that will be another great one. We also have The Magic of Kevin Spencer, and we haven't really talked about our Main Stage Education series, but Conway Corp is such a wonderful supporter of that. In fact, they're sponsoring, you all are sponsoring a show this year, Dr. Kaboom, that will be there. He's the science of Santa, and he does all these electric tricks, but he'll be performing in December. But the Main Stage Education series is our children's series. And we serve children literally from across the state of Arkansas. We've had them come from the very north tip of our state to the very south tip of our state. In fact, in 7 years, we've served over 50,000 students across the state. So
That's incredible.
It's a huge impact.
Yes.
Brings lots of children. And you know, unfortunately, some of these communities that children come from, they've never experienced live professional performing arts because it's not accessible where they live. So their teachers are willing to get them on a school bus, bring them to Reynolds and see a show. But we're kicking off that series with The Magic of Kevin Spencer. And it's going to be a sensory-friendly show. So if you know a family who needs that, but really, I've seen the performance. It's amazing, and you never even know it. So, but it is a great show, family fun. We will have a Saturday performance. So if your kid's not coming with their school, you can purchase tickets and bring your family out, and just a ton of fun. Something else we're doing in October is a comedian, Preacher Lawson. Have you ever heard of Preacher Lawson?
I haven't.
So Preacher Lawson was on America's Got Talent, and he was a finalist. Then he was brought into America's Got Talent will have the best of show, and then they compete, the best acts of America's Got Talent, and he was one of the finalists on that as well.
Wow.
And then Britain, he was on Britain's America's Got Talent. Since then, he's at a show in Las Vegas. BET did a stand-up comedy live for him that's been aired several times. And he's just a really fun, clean comedian. So it really would be appropriate for all ages. We can't wait to have him into Reynolds. Also, we've got this great show coming called Respect. And I bet you know what Respect is about. Aretha Franklin, of course, and her life. It is a concert experience. The singer does not pretend to be Aretha, but she will have very glamorous costumes. A Broadway producer is actually producing it. So it will be absolutely amazing, and all of Aretha's best hits. And if you know, Aretha's music is timeless. If you think about all the things that she has sang and the different ways it's been utilized, whether it's in TV commercials or on the radio, but it doesn't matter what age you are, you're going to know her music. It'd be fun to come to.
Yes.
And then in November, right before Thanksgiving, we have something really special coming to Reynolds. And I've been working for years to try to get this show, and I know it's going to be so fun for families, and it's Anastasia. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Wow.
Huge Broadway musical.
Yes.
It is based off of the Anastasia movie that is Disney produced. So this is a Disney produced musical as well. It's been on Broadway for many, many years. Gorgeous costumes. Of course, originated in Russia, but most of the show is set in Paris. So beautiful sets, as you can imagine, and decor. But we're really, really excited about that. And then in December, as we kind of wrap up our fall semester, we're going to have a Charlie Brown Christmas Live.
Oh, I love that.
And it's a Saturday night, December
Awesome.
10th. So perfect for families to come see. If your child has never been introduced to the theater, this would be a great way to do it because the show truly reflects the TV show. So they'll know it from watching it year after year at Christmas time. And so they'll come and they'll understand what's going on stage, and it'll just be a really neat experience for them. And you know, children's tickets at Reynolds, we still honor a children's price. A lot of venues don't do that. We do $10 to bring a kid to the theater. Listen, you can't go to the movies for $10.
Right.
So you can bring your kiddo, introduce them to a really great show for only $10. If you want that $10 ticket, you do have to either call us or come by and see us. We don't offer the ticket price online, but we will honor it in our box office if you do a box office sale. And then finally, like I talked about, Conway Corp, thankfully, is such a wonderful community partner with us, and they're bringing in Dr. Kaboom, the science of Santa. And so he will look at all of Santa's tricks and try to explain to the children scientifically how that may happen. Of course, he doesn't ruin anything. No surprises are ruined about Santa and the mystery and excitement of Christmas time. But it'll be so much fun. And
Wow.
we're just thrilled. We
Yes.
also have, I'll just touch on a few things. Perhaps I can come back later and talk about the spring shows, but we've got the Blue Man Group coming.
Oh, awesome.
Yes.
Wow.
Our students, we had the Blue Man Group about 6 years ago, and our students loved it. We sold out 2 shows within like a week.
Wow.
So I would get those tickets now. Actually, I'm sorry, you can't get those tickets now. Blue Man Group required us to put those tickets on sale on September 13th, a little bit delayed of a sale. So that's the only show you can't get right now. But mark your calendars
Yes.
for September 13th to
Yes.
call us and get your Blue Man Group tickets.
Those will sell out really quick.
It sure will. Something else that our students are super excited about, our college age students, not necessarily our kindergarten through 12th, but our college age students are excited about Steve Burns.
Okay.
Do you know who Steve Burns
I
is?
don't know
I'm
who
questioning
Steve
you today.
Burns.
You
That
will
make
when I
me
tell
old?
you. Nope, you're going to know him. You just don't know him by that name.
Okay.
Steve Burns is the original host of Blue's Clues. He's Steve
Oh, wow.
from Blue's
Steve.
Clues.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, so I know you know him.
I do. I think I was babysitting when that whole thing came out. Or
So our college
little
students were like 3 and 4 years old.
Right.
So they grew up on
Right.
him. So they are
Steve,
thrilled about
yes.
him coming. He's really got an interesting story. You know, he was on that show as a teenager. And when he left the show, he literally left to go to college. He was college age.
wow.
But he had a difficult time making that transition from being a star into the college world, and suffered from some depression. But since then, he's done some amazing things. He's a composer, he's a writer, and he's risen above that and excelled. But he's going to come talk about that, about how you may have difficult times transitioning into life, but you can get through this. It's a powerful message that will hopefully inspire our students and let them know that they can be just like Steve, and they're going to be so excited just to see him,
Yes.
see him on stage. So tons of fun. We've got with our main stage education series, something we've not touched on, but I will really quickly. We have these benefit performances. So we raise 100% of the funds for the main stage education series, the series that brings the children to the theater. And we do a ton of fundraising. One of the things we do is benefits. And so we've got some benefit performances. One of the ones that's gotten the most kind of hype is the Purple Piano. Sorry, I want to say Prince every time because it's about Prince.
Okay.
So the guy, his name is Marshall. He is Prince in Las Vegas. And he brings in a solo show. It's just him and a piano, and he performs the hits of Prince. He does not pretend to be Prince. He knew Prince. He tells a lot of stories about Prince, but I'm going to tell you something. He looks, sings, acts just like him. It's really amazing. And at the very end of Prince's life, when he was touring, he was doing solo shows. Just he and a piano would go to different venues, and that's how he would perform. So this kind of reflects what Prince was doing at the end of his life. So we're excited about that. We have a Celtic Angels Ireland coming that's also a benefit show, and a show called Tapestry, which is a songbook of Carole King's music.
Wow.
Yeah, so it'll be
some
fun.
great stuff.
And we just touched
Don't
on
wanna
a
miss any
few
of
of
it.
them. So you can go to our
Yes.
website and look. It's uca.edu/Reynolds.
Okay.
Check out the whole series. Right now we are selling season passes. So if a lot of these sounded good, you can create your own Pick 6 package.
Okay.
But we're also selling the single tickets, everything except for the Blue Man Group. That will kick off on September 13th. You can also call our box office at 501-450-3265 or come see us right there on campus. We have a dedicated parking lot for Reynolds. We love it. People
love it.
always say,
Yes.
what about parking? Because,
It's so easy.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
you're like,
it
it's right
is.
there.
It's
Park
like-
and walk right in.
you don't have to worry about parking at Reynolds. We'll always have a spot for you.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
And thank you for offering such a great variety to our Conway area, and
Absolutely.
people come from all over.
They
to
really
Reynolds.
do. We try each year to bring an eclectic season in. You may not love everything on our season, although I think if you came, you would enjoy it. But you may not love everything, but I guarantee you're going to find 2 or 3 things on there that you or somebody in your family would love. And our tickets are great gifts, birthday gifts, Christmas gifts. because it's the gift of an experience.
Right.
And so many people are moving towards when they're gift giving, giving experiences instead of items. I have enough stuff in my house. I'm sure
We
you
all
do
do,
too.
yes.
So this would be a great way to bring your family or bring a friend to the
Yes.
theater and have a great experience.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much for sharing with us all the information. And we'll be sure to get on there and get the tickets.
Absolutely. Appreciate you having me today.
Thank you.
Hi Conway, this is Jeff Brooks at Brooks Fine Jewelry. Thank you once again for voting for Brooks Fine Jewelry for Best of in Conway. This is the factory store. There's always something new and innovative here at Brooks Fine Jewelry. We can now engrave the nameplates for anybody that wishes to acquire them, and we're here to engrave anything you have. Any items that you wish to engrave, bring them on in. Brooks Fine Jewelry is now exhibiting original art and limited edition prints by Patrick Shane Wilson. So come on down to Brooks Fine Jewelry and visit with us. We look forward to seeing you.
Transform your internet experience with Conway Corp Managed Wi-Fi, powered by Plume. Full-strength, uninterrupted Wi-Fi everywhere in your home. Multiple devices, maximum streaming and uploading. Installed by our experts for peak performance. Buffering? Over. Dead spots? Gone. Easy controls manage your smart devices. And advanced security keeps it all safe. It's the smarter way to Wi-Fi. Conway Corp Managed Wi-Fi. Upgrade now.
Welcome back. The Wampus Cats Sports Hall of Fame began in 2019, and the next class will be inducted in a ceremony on August 26th. Levi Gilbert and Tim Roach with 5 Sports are here now with David Grimes to take a look at the next class of Wampus Cats legends.
Thanks, Whitney. We are joined now by David Grimes, who heads up the Wampus Cats Sports Hall of Fame. And David, it's good to have you today. This year, you have your 4th batch of inductees. We're going to talk all about them, starting with the OG head baseball Wampus Cat himself, Noel Boucher.
That's right. He started the program back in 1985, coached it for 36 years, won 700 games, over 70% of his games. Anybody that played for him just loves the man, and we got a lot of his former players coming back to see him get inducted.
Following up with him is Michael Wiley, who was on the first championship team. He's done a lot for the program since then. Talk about Mike.
Yeah, Mike, he's a great guy. He and I were in school together, a couple years younger than me, but he was a wonderful left-handed pitcher, one of the best pitchers in Arkansas high school history. In the state playoffs, he threw a shutout in the semifinals, then on a day's rest, threw a shutout in the finals to beat the defending state champion and give Conway the first baseball state championship. He was drafted by the Orioles, but Tommy John surgery ended his career prematurely.
Oh, Iron Mike. We got to talk with him in one of our baseball broadcasts this year. It was a lot of fun. The 3rd inductee, you can say a lot about this guy, former standout multi-sport athlete, football coach, and athletic director, Dennis Fulmer.
Yeah, Dennis was a wonderful man, fast as the wind. The story goes he coached that 1967 state championship football team, and his players would say he was still the fastest guy on the team when he was coaching. When he was an older man. So he was a great athlete, though, could run like the wind.
Let's talk about some basketball now. This guy was a part of the 1976 championship team for the Wampus Cats, what I think is one of the greatest teams of all time in Arkansas history, Herman Hammonds.
Yeah, Herman, he was the only junior starter on that 76 team, and then came back his senior year, was all-state, went to Hendricks, and was all AIC in basketball and track for Coach Garrison there in basketball. He was also a high jumper. He jumped 6'10" in high school, and at Hendricks, he became the 2nd Arkansan ever to jump 7 feet. And he wasn't really a trained high jumper. He just naturally gifted. He could jump that high. He was a really great athlete.
I wish I could do something that impressive and not be trained. Our 5th inductee is former Wampus Cat and UCA track standout Erica Setzler.
Yeah, Erica's a dandy. She's one of the youngest inductees. And she ran, 4 years All-State cross country, 4 years All-State track, twice All-State in golf. She also played on the basketball team that won the state championship in 2008. So multi-talented, went on to UCA and won the steeplechase and the conference of meet, went to the NCAA regionals in that event, and just still runs today, runs triathlons. So she's another great athlete.
I'm super proud to talk about this next guy. I graduated high school with him, Mark Turner, who was an All-American in one sport in high school, and then turned around and was a multi-year All-American in a different sport in college.
That's right. In high school, he was a pole vaulter, one of the best in high school history in Arkansas. And he was going to go to Arkansas State, which at the time was a track program that had a lot of national prominence, especially in pole vaulting. And he was going to go there to pole vault, but then decided to go to UCA instead and play football. And he played for Coach Harold Horton there when the Bears won back-to-back national championships in the mid-'80s. He was part of those two teams, twice an All-American in football. He's a career interception leader at UCA. And real quick, a neat note, he had 5 picks in one game, 4 in one quarter in college. Okay, that tied the UCA Bear record, which was held by another former Wampus Cat, Ken Stevens, who was an inductee last year. And what's even crazier, they did this, Turner intercepted those against Arkansas Tech. The coach of Arkansas Tech was Ken Stevens. So he tied the school record against the other guy who had. They're both Wampus Cat Hall of Famers. So pretty neat how those things intertwined in sports.
That's awesome. So in addition to the individual inductees, you have a team that's inducted every year. And we've talked about this team a little bit already because Herman Hammonds was on it. It's the 1975-76 basketball championship team.
Yeah, they're a phenomenal bunch. He's the 3rd player to be inducted. Their coach has been inducted, Coach Graham, along with Lawson Pilgrim and Austin Sullivan. There's probably a couple more on that team they'll get in eventually, but they were unstoppable. 36-0. They won the state 3A, Class 3A championship in a blowout. Their average margin of victory was 25 points that year. Everybody on the team got a lot of playing time because even if you were a bench player, usually such a big lead by the 3rd or 4th quarter, Coach Graham put in all the subs and they got to have a lot of fun too. They won the state overall, became the first top tier team. Class 4A was the highest back then, became the first 3A team to win it all. And they're just phenomenal. Like you said, Tim, they're still one of the best high school basketball teams in the history of Arkansas.
He's Wampus Cat Sports Hall of Fame organizer David Grimes. And David, what can people do? Where do they need to go if they want to find out more about the banquet and when is it and all that good stuff?
Sure. Well, we have a Facebook page, Wampus Cat Sports Hall of Fame, but you can contact the Conway High School Athletic Office. Talk to Beth Flusmeyer. She can tell you about tickets. The banquet is Friday, August 26th at Conway High Cafeteria. It's a great time to see a bunch of old Wampus Cats come together and have a big time.
David, thanks again for spending some time with us.
Yep. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Go Cats.
Hi Conway, this is Jeff Brooks at Brooks Fine Jewelry. Thank you once again for voting for Brooks Fine Jewelry for Best of in Conway. This is the factory store. There's always something new and innovative here at Brooks Fine Jewelry. We can now engrave the nameplates for anybody that wishes to acquire them, and we're here to engrave anything you have. Any items that you wish to engrave, bring them on in. Brooks Fine Jewelry is now exhibiting original art and limited edition prints by Patrick Shane Wilson. So come on down to Brooks Fine Jewelry and visit with us. We look forward to seeing you.
Home entertainment now means streaming everything. Movies, hit shows, all at your fingertips. Or not. And it means accessing entertainment everywhere. So you can take the blockbusters, the big games, the Conway favorites, and more on the go all the time. Introducing Conway Corp TV. Home entertainment that doesn't have to stay home. Available only from Conway Corp.
You're watching Here and There. We're joined next by Jeff Matthews of Conway Corp and Stephanie Brazil, editor of 501 Life, as they preview the August issue of 501 Life magazine, which is available now.
Thanks, Whitney. Yes, I'm here with Stephanie Brazil. Excited once again to visit with Stephanie about the August issue of 501 Life magazine. It's a busy time over at 501. It is here as well, so it's good to have you with us.
Thank you.
School starting for all of us parents who have kids in school. Obviously, our focus is that when it comes to August, and it's also the focus of this month's magazine.
It is, and for parents, it's usually an exciting time
Yes.
when the kids go back to school and back to the teachers.
Right.
And it is
Very much.
We're featuring on our cover a dozen cheerleaders from throughout Central Arkansas because our theme is school spirit.
Okay.
And what better way to do that than to assemble 12 cheerleaders. We met up with them at 8 a.m. at Hendricks football field for that photo shoot, and even at 8 a.m. it was hot. But they were so cooperative, and they are really excited about leading their schools.
They have the school spirit.
They do.
So
They
perfect
do.
cover subjects for that. Talking about back to school, I know Chef Don Bingham has got a good idea for all of us.
He does. He says we need to do a big send-off before we send the kids back, so let's do an ice cream bash.
Nice.
And so he gives us lots of recipes for homemade ice creams, even a rum raisin and peach cobbler ice cream that you make with Teddy Grahams.
Okay.
That's in the magazine. A fudge sauce, and also orange sherbet if you want to make that at home. So he says get all your kids together, your grandkids or neighborhood kids, and have a big fun send-off.
That's a great idea. Great idea. The pet of the month is Archie. Now, Archie's a standard poodle. What else can you tell me about Archie?
Sure. So there's a place that's called the Archford Education Service
Sure,
Cooperative.
yeah.
Okay, and they service 27 school districts around the region. And so one lady there, her name is Bethany Hill, and her focus is to support teachers in their first 3 years
Okay.
of teaching. And she and her team found that those teachers are so stressed out. And of course, we know they've dealt with COVID, but even in the best of circumstances, it's a stressful time as you begin your career in a classroom. So they brainstormed, what can we do? And they decided to get a service animal for teachers. And that's where Archie comes in.
Okay.
He's a standard poodle.
Yeah.
He's being trained to be on his best behavior and to be able to go into schools and see teachers at professional development. And the teachers are just loving it and really responding to that.
Oh, I bet. What a neat idea. That's very, very cool. The next story that we're going to talk about is one that from the moment I heard about it, I thought, I want to know more. So take some moments here, some time here to tell us about this story involving some reunited siblings.
Yes. This is a story that makes me really proud to be in publishing, and it is a tearjerker. Tayshaun Madison, he went into foster care in Texas when he was 4 years old.
Okay.
He had an older brother and a younger sister, and he spent some time in foster care with that younger sister, but they were separated. At 6 years old, his biological mother passes away, so there's no chance of that family being reunited. And he was moved around to different homes, but ultimately he ends up in Conway at 12 years old and is adopted by Jeannie and Ricky Madison, a wonderful couple. And when he's a junior in high school, so now we'll go back to 2018, a teacher gives him an assignment to write about his life and who is he. And he includes his birth name in that article. And his teacher thought it was so good that she contacted the former owners of this magazine and said, could you publish this? It's so meaningful. And they did. And so his older brother started looking for him, and his biological grandmother were looking for him online with that birth name, not the adopted name. They found him because of the article. Wow. Reached out to the Madison family, and they jumped on it. They're wonderful people. They drove him to Dallas, met those folks, but then the little sister is still in another situation, separated. But when she turned 18, the state gave her records on her siblings, and the article was in the folder. So she reaches out to him, and in June was brought here to Conway and reunited, and our photographer was there to get photos. And it's a beautiful story of the adoptive family being so open to helping him reunite. Tayshaun Madison feels his heart is overflowing because he now has his biological siblings in his life as well. It's a beautiful story.
Well, and like you mentioned, it's one of those things that makes you proud to be in publishing, and it makes you proud to do any sort of broadcasting, because as we talk about often, it's broadcasting, and magazines are reaching a broad audience, but you never imagine that the broad audience could do something like that. That's very, very cool.
Rita Halter Thomas wrote this story and did just a wonderful job of pulling it all together. We're also going to give the reference to the previous story so people can go back and look at that story online, and it is really special.
Wow. Well, I look forward to reading that for sure. We've been doing some traveling this summer. My family's been to Texas. We've been to Florida. We've also been around Arkansas, and we've hit a few state parks. And I'm interested to hear what you have to say about the historical state parks.
Yes. Linda Henderson and her husband have visited all 52 state parks in the last year. And so, you know, she's a photojournalist, a wonderful photographer. And we had her split what she saw into 3 segments. So in July, people could read about one aspect of the parks. In August, they'll see the historical parks, and in September, it will be water sports and outdoor
Okay.
sports that you can do in parks. But she highlights special things. If you're a history buff or you just want to go to certain parks, you'll know where to go, and she has great photos.
Fantastic, fantastic. Well, our time has been spent a lot around here getting ready for football season. We've covered the Wampus Cats for, this will be our 22nd season doing
Yes.
that, and so it's a big part of our falls, and part of what we get excited about is your magazine's annual issue that comes out this time.
Thank you. It's our 12th annual 501 football team. So coaches around the region nominate players, and then our team chooses them, not just for their ability on the field, but also their off the field attributes. Are they a volunteer? Do they work hard with their schoolwork? Are they a team player? Do they show good sportsmanship? So 29 young men have been chosen. They've been photographed. We have bios written on all of them. And so we'll introduce them in the August magazine, but mid-August you can also find an issue solely devoted to that team of 29 players. So we'll deliver those to their schools for the people who are wondering where to get them. Their schools, they'll be in stores and businesses, and always at our rack outside the office at 920 Locust, downtown Conway.
I know that families appreciate that so much. I've seen it through the years too. So thank you as a football consumer.
Sure,
for
especially
doing
those
that.
smaller schools.
Yes,
You know, those guys, they have
yes.
some really talented players who don't always get the same attention as a larger district.
Very good. Well, thank you for taking some time during a busy time to come by and be on the show once again this month.
Thanks for allowing me to be here.
Absolutely. You can learn more online at 501lifemag.com.
That's our show for this month. Special thanks to our guests for joining us, and thank you for watching. If you have a story idea, we'd love to hear it. Email us at the address you see on the screen. I'm Whitney Long, and we'll be seeing you here and there.